Okay, let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly tasted your food? I mean, like, really focused on it, without the guilt, without scrolling on your phone, definitely without doing that mental calorie math.
Hmm. It's actually not an easy question to answer, honestly, is it? Because, for so many of us, that relationship with food, it's kind of broken.
Yeah. And we looked at some research for this deep dive, and honestly, it was pretty unsettling. Get this. Up to 25% of people who go on standard diets actually end up developing disordered eating behaviors.
25%. It's a shocking number. And it really highlights how something that's often framed as healthy can actually be, well, incredibly harmful.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
toxic. Which is why today our whole mission isn't about giving you more rules. It's about helping you maybe dismantle the old ones.
Right. We've pulled together sources on mindful eating, body positivity like its real roots, and also the whole intuitive eating framework.
And the goal here is, well, we want to give you a clear path to understanding that difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. It's a distinction that, honestly, we think maybe 99% of people kind of miss when they sit down to eat.
Yeah. And by the end, hopefully you'll have some real tools you can use, tools to swap out that shame for actual self-compassion.
Okay, but first, we kind of have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? Diet culture.
Absolutely. It's like the air we breathe. It's this huge multi-billion-dollar industry that, let's be honest, profits by making you feel like your body isn't good enough as it is.
So today is about seeing that pressure for what it is.
And taking back some of that power. It's an act of, well, radical self-love, really.
Okay, let's dive into our first big insight then, the modern eating dilemma. Basically, why we're all so distracted when we eat.
Think about it. Your last few meals where you maybe eating over the sink, rushing between meetings, scrolling through social media.
Guilty, definitely guilty of the scrolling while eating.
Right. We're pretty much all mindless eaters, as the sources put it. Our society just moves so fast, whether you're dealing with, I don't know, LA traffic or the buzz of Mumbai, we adapt.
And the result is we eat distracted, we eat too fast.
And we completely miss our body's own cues. Like the signals for actual hunger or feeling full, they just get drowned out.
Okay, so this is where mindful eating comes into play.
Huh?
And it's important to say, this is not the same as dieting.
Not at all. That's the key difference. Diets tell you what you should or shouldn't eat. Strict rules.
Right. Good foods, bad foods.
Exactly. But mindful eating, it asks you to tune into your own body's wisdom about when and how you eat. It's really about being present.
So what does that look like practically? Being present with food.
Well, a few key things. Eating without distractions is a big one, like actually putting the phone away.
Okay, easier said than done, but I get it.
Huh, yeah, I know. And then engaging all your senses, actually looking at the colors, noticing the textures, the smell, eating slowly.
And the big one,
Mm-mm.
approaching food without judgment.
That's crucial. No good foods, no bad foods, just awareness, observing your experience without that layer of criticism.
And there's actual science backing this up,
Yeah.
right? It's not just a nice idea.
Oh, absolutely. Studies show real benefits, things like improved digestion because you're actually chewing properly and your body's relaxed.
Better nutrient absorption then.
Yeah. And surprisingly, it often leads to better weight management, not through restriction, but because you actually notice when you're comfortably full. You stop naturally.
Okay, so you're more in tune with your body's signals.
Right. And it helps reduce that emotional eating pattern, too, which brings us to that really crucial distinction we promised.
Ah, yes. Physical versus emotional hunger. Let's break that down. Physical hunger first. How do we spot that?
Okay, physical hunger. It usually comes on gradually. It's patient. It's not like a sudden urgent craving.
Okay, gradual. What else?
Critically, it can be satisfied by pretty much any food. If you're genuinely physically hungry, some chicken or veggies or whatever you have available will actually sound appealing.
Right. You're not desperately craving one specific thing.
Exactly. And you'll have actual physical signs, maybe your stomach's growling, energy dip, perhaps a slight headache. And importantly, when you eat, you feel satisfied and you stop when you're comfortably full.
Okay, that seems clear. Now contrast that with emotional hunger.
Emotional hunger, that's the one that hits you suddenly, like a wave. It feels urgent, demanding. I need chocolate now.
Huh. Yeah, I know that feeling.
And it craves specific comfort foods, usually things high in sugar, fat, or salt. It wants the cookies, the pizza, the ice cream.
And if you try to eat something else like an apple instead of the cookie?
It doesn't work. You still feel unsatisfied because the underlying need wasn't actually for food. It was for comfort or distraction or soothing some feeling.
So it's like trying to fix an emotional problem with a physical substance.
Precisely. And because the food doesn't actually solve the root cause, the stress, the boredom, the anxiety is still there after the last bite.
It often leads to eating way past fullness.
Yep. And then comes the kicker. The guilt, the shame, that whole cycle starts again.
Understanding that shame cycle feels like a perfect bridge to our second insight. Body positivity. It's a term we hear everywhere. But the sources we looked at were really clear that its meaning has gotten kind of messy.
Oh, definitely. It's been co-opted, especially online. You see the hashtag body positive, but often it still features bodies that fit pretty close to conventional beauty standards, maybe just slightly bigger or differently shaped.
So it ends up accidentally reinforcing the very things it was meant to challenge.
Sometimes, yeah, which is why it's so important to remember its actual roots. Authentic body positivity started with black fat activists.
Okay, it's a crucial piece of history.
It really is. It was and is a radical political movement. It's about challenging those deeply ingrained societal beauty standards, fighting late-based discrimination, fat phobia, and demanding respect for all bodies.
All sizes, all shapes, all abilities.
Exactly. Recognizing the inherent diversity of human bodies and celebrating that, not trying to make everyone fit into one narrow mold.
So the core idea isn't necessarily love how you look every second, but more about respecting your body, appreciating its function.
That's a huge part of it. Shifting the focus from appearance to functionality. Like, wow, my legs carried me on a walk today, or my lungs are breathing, rather than just picking apart how things look in the mirror.
And this shift isn't just like a feel-good thing. There are real mental health implications here, aren't there?
Absolutely massive. Constantly battling a negative body image is strongly linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, low self-esteem. And of course, it significantly increases the risk for eating disorders.
Wow. So working towards body acceptance, or even just neutrality, can actually protect your mental health.
Definitely. Studies show that a more positive or even neutral body image leads to reduced depression risk, higher self-esteem, better overall well-being. You basically free up so much mental energy when you stop fighting your own body.
Okay, so we've talked about mindfulness, we've talked about body respect, but we still have that big antagonist, diet culture itself.
Yeah.
How do we actually escape that trap?
Right. That brings us perfectly to Insight 3. We need a concrete strategy.
First, let's really define this diet culture thing. It's sort of invisible because it's everywhere, right?
It is. It's the pervasive belief system that equates thinness with health and moral virtue. You know, the idea that being smaller makes you a better person.
And it moralizes food, constantly clean eating, junk food, guilty pleasures.
Exactly. It pushes restriction, control, ignoring your body's needs in favor of external rules. And it's everywhere, whether it's specific diet trends in the US or broader appearance standards globally. That core mechanism of shame is the same.
And the consequences. We've touched on them, but let's be clear.
Well, besides the mental health struggles and the shame spiral, a major physical consequence is weight cycling.
That yo-yo effect.
Yeah, repeatedly losing weight through restrictive dieting, only to inevitably regain it, often plus some extra. That cycle is incredibly stressful for the body, metabolically and psychologically.
It sounds exhausting and ultimately counterproductive. So what's the alternative? How do we rebuild that trust with our bodies?
Okay, this is where the intuitive eating framework comes in. It was developed by two dietitians, Evelyn Tribole and Elise Resch.
And it's specifically designed to counter diet culture.
Exactly. It's a comprehensive approach based on 10 core principles. It's really about giving the power back to you, the eater, instead of putting it in the hands of a diet plan or a calorie tracker.
10 principles sounds like a lot to take in at once. If someone wants to start right now, what are maybe the top, say, 3 big ones to focus on?
Okay, the big 3 for starting out. Number 1, without a doubt, reject the diet mentality.
Just stop dieting.
Oh, God.
Cold turkey.
Consciously reject it. Actively recognize diet thoughts and messages for what they are, harmful and unhelpful. This means, yeah, maybe getting rid of the scale, deleting the calorie apps, throwing out the diet books.
Wow, okay. That feels huge. What's number 2?
Number 2, honor your hunger and respect your fullness. These two go hand in hand. It's the direct antidote to restriction and binging. Learn to recognize your early hunger cues and eat when you feel them.
Don't wait until you're starving.
Right. And similarly, learn to recognize the signals that you're comfortably full and satisfied and stop eating then, trusting those internal signals we talked about with mindful eating.
Okay, reject the diet mentality. Honor, hunger, respect, fullness. What's the 3rd key?
Number 3 is foundational. Respect your body as it is, right now. Not when you lose weight, not when you change it. now.
That sounds like the body acceptance piece we discussed.
It is. You can't truly nourish and care for something you hate or disrespect. So it's about treating your body with dignity, regardless of its size or shape. That creates the foundation for wanting to feed it well and move it gently.
And when you do these things, does the emotional eating piece start to sort itself out?
It often does, significantly. When you remove the restriction, that intense urge to rebel or binge often diminishes because food isn't forbidden anymore. There's no Last Supper mentality driving you to overeat bad foods before the diet starts again tomorrow.
Because the diet isn't starting again tomorrow.
Exactly. And intuitive eating also helps you develop non-food coping mechanisms for your emotions. So when stress hits, you have other tools besides reaching for the cookies.
Okay, this all sounds really powerful in theory, but people need practical steps. Let's get into the actionable tools. What can someone do tonight or tomorrow?
Right, let's make it concrete. These are the shifts that actually start building that piece.
Okay, tool 1, the mindful meal ritual. We talked about mindfulness. Let's make it a ritual. What does that look like?
Super simple stuff. Try dedicating, say, 20 minutes just for your meal. No multitasking.
20 minutes. Okay, that's doable.
Yeah. And actually remove distractions. Put the phone in another room. I know, it's tough.
It is, but worth trying.
Definitely. Then, before you even pick up your fork, take 3 slow, deep breaths. Just arrive at the table. Then, engage those senses as you eat. Notice the flavors, the textures, the warmth.
Does that actually help digestion too?
Sure.
The breathing?
It really does. It calms your nervous system, signals you're safe, and prepares your body to receive food. Digestion works better when you're relaxed.
Okay, mindful meal ritual. Got it. What's next?
Tool 2, the hunger fullness scale. This is brilliant for learning to honor hunger and respect fullness.
Okay, how did that work?
Just visualize a scale from 0 to 10. 0 is like painfully hungry, empty. 10 is uncomfortably stuffed, like after Thanksgiving dinner.
In there.
We all have. The goal isn't to live at the extremes. You want to aim to start eating when you're around a 3 or 4. Feeling comfortably hungry, definite signals.
Okay, and stop eating when?
Aim to stop around a 7 or 8, comfortably satisfied, maybe gently full, but not stuffed. Staying within that middle range helps rebuild trust with your body's signals. You avoid getting overly hungry, which can trigger overeating, and you avoid that uncomfortable stuffed feeling.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, now for maybe the hardest part, the emotional side. What happens when that inner critic pipes up? The self-judgment about your food choices or your body can be so loud.
It really can. And that's where tool 3, self-compassion practice, becomes your absolute lifeline. It's maybe the most important tool.
Okay, how do we practice that when we feel like beating ourselves up?
Okay, think of Kristen Neff's 3 components. First, self-kindness. Instead of that harsh inner critic, try talking to yourself like you would talk to a good friend who's struggling. Gently, kindly.
Okay, be nice to myself. Sounds simple, but it's hard.
It is hard. That's why the second part is key, common humanity. Remember, you are not alone in this. Millions, probably billions of people struggle with food and body image. It's part of the shared, imperfect human experience. It doesn't mean you're flawed. It means you're human.
That's really powerful. So, kindness, common humanity. What's the third part?
The third is mindfulness. But in this context, it means acknowledging your difficult thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them.
So, not ignoring the negative thought, but not letting it take over.
Exactly. You notice it. There's that thought that I ate too much, or there's that feeling of hating my body. You just observe it, maybe label it thinking, judging, and let it be there without over-identifying, like watching clouds pass by. You don't have to believe every thought you have.
That feels like disarming the critic instead of fighting it.
That's exactly what it is. Much more effective.
Okay. And one more tool. For people who find body positivity just feels too far away right now.
Yeah.
Like they just can't jump to loving their body yet.
Yes, absolutely. That's where tool 4, body neutrality, can be incredibly helpful. If positivity feels fake or impossible, aim for acceptance or neutrality first.
How does that work in practice?
It's about shifting focus again. Use factual, non-emotional descriptions. Instead of, ugh, I hate my stomach, try reframing it to something neutral, like, this is my stomach, it digests my food.
So you're focusing on what the body does rather than how it looks.
Precisely. Or just stating facts. These are my thighs, full stop. No judgment attached. It lowers the emotional temperature and creates a bit of space.
That feels like a really achievable first step for many people.
It can be. And one last really important point on all this. Setbacks are normal. This isn't a straight line upwards.
Oh, thank goodness. So if you have a bad day or fall back into old habits.
It doesn't mean you failed. It absolutely doesn't. It just means you're human and you're unlearning years, maybe decades of conditioning. A setback is just data. It's another chance to practice self-compassion, not self-criticism.
Okay, that's a huge relief to hear. Let's try and pull this all together then.
Yeah, let's recap.
We started by facing that unsettling reality. Diet culture often causes harm. Then we explored these powerful frameworks to push back.
Right. We talked about mindful eating being present to actually hear your body's wisdom.
Then the true roots and goals of body positivity, challenging the system, respecting all bodies.
And finally, the structure of intuitive eating, those core principles like rejecting the diet mentality and honoring your hunger as a way to actively escape those damaging rules.
Basically, reclaiming your plate is about reclaiming your self-worth.
It really is. Think about it. The relationship you have with your body is the longest, most intimate relationship you'll ever have. It deserves the same kindness, attention, and compassion you'd offer a truly dear friend.
Wow, that lands. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening as you start trying these tools, just ask yourself this. What if the goal wasn't actually weight loss? What if the goal was simply peace?
Peace with food, peace with your body. Yeah, that changes the whole game, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay.
Every insight gets deeper on the second listen, so make sure you save this episode in your library.
Definitely do that. And next time, we're shifting gears a bit. We've talked a lot about emotional freedom today.
Yeah. What's next?
Next time, we're diving into the psychology of habit stacking. It's this tiny neurological trick that can make tackling huge goals feel almost effortless.
Ooh, habit stacking. Okay, if you've ever set a big goal, like New Year's resolution style, and then completely flamed out 3 weeks later.
Which is most of us, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Then you absolutely must hear this next deep dive. Don't miss it.